Good morning, it is January 11th. We are a few days out from Houston. Gonna do a pre-workout at the gym probably because it's a snow day. But first, coffee. We just got this Breville for Christmas. It's amazing. Best cup of coffee ever. It's about 7 a.m. About 90 minutes before I'll head to the gym for my workout, and I usually eat around this time, 90 minutes before I start my warm-up for a workout. And this is pretty standard pre-workout meal here. Got 2 toaster waffles and a cup of coffee, so cheers. So generally, I don't do a ton of pre-run activation, but I like to roll out my back. Okay. Anyways, I generally do a couple things through my back with the foam roller, and then I'll do some ankle mobs. Got this band attached to this very heavy object. Put a little bit of resistance on it. Just do 10 to 12 reps each side. This is good for Achilles, foot, just lower leg health. Just pulled up to the gym. It is very, very snowy out, but yeah, it's a good thing this is a pretty light workout. I would have been SOL if this was a big one. So just a light workout this morning. We're gonna do 20-minute warm up, 2 miles at 5 minute to 5:10 per mile. And then 4 by 30 seconds / 200 meters, whatever. Just turning over the legs, and then another 20-minute cool down. So pretty light day, pretty standard Ryan Hall pre-workout. Sometimes we'll mix it up, but this has been the bread and butter for 2 years for the last workout before a race. I'll do this before marathons, 2 or 3 days out. I'll do this before a mile. It doesn't matter the distance of the race. It's just a light tempo, and then turning the legs on with some turnover at the end. All right, you know the drill. Post-workout, gonna slam some Ensure. It's just the easiest way to get quick calories and protein. Say, hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, guys?
All right, we're gonna have our post-workout meal number 2 for the day. It is 10:47 a.m. And this is a breakfast casserole that my sweet wife Jill made.
I want it.
2 pieces of this. So, I don't know how many calories this is. I don't even know what's exactly in it, but it's delicious. Snow finally stopped. It's time to shovel the driveway, baby. Oh, that's cross training if you ask me. Probably 35 minutes just to get that much done. Pretty icy underneath, but should be good for now. Time for some lunch before I go to weights. Some leftover macaroni goulash-esque pasta. And I'm having a second cup of coffee for the road. All right, I just did a mobility session with Jesse, my strength and conditioning coach. We focused more so on just like range of motion and getting the body primed for this weekend, seeing as this is a huge opportunity. The Houston Half, undoubtedly the fastest half marathon in North America. One of my favorite races. I've done this, this will be my 3rd time. So I'm really just setting myself up for a really, really positive experience. A lot of people, when they're training for a marathon, they don't like to taper for their half marathon in the middle of the block, but because this is far enough out from my race, 5 weeks out, I'm using it as a come up for air week, absorbing all my training, coming down in mileage quite a bit, and going to really give myself a real shot to run as fast as humanly possible. Field looks awesome. Weather is really, really shaping up. I think it's gonna be a special one. I got 2 teammates and training partners, Aaron and Bia, in the race, so it's going to just be a really cool opportunity to run fast with teammates, kind of like my sub-4 attempt with Sayer. It's just people that I've been sharing the journey with, and this is a big step in the right direction. All right, so it's about 3:00 p.m. I'm about to hit a double before I get my massage. Just 30 minutes easy, shaking out the morning, mostly just trying to make the legs feel better. Gonna brave the outdoors since the snow stopped. It's gonna be put on your trail shoes and run on a couple inches of snow, but you know, as long as the sun's out, I find these runs pretty nice. It's the shoe. Look at that grip. No slip, baby. Run is done. Time to get my weekly massage. This is something I've been doing for the better part of my professional career. I get weekly massage on Thursday. Usually it's just a general flush. If something's wrong, I'll focus on that. But since this is pre-race, it'll just be get the legs feeling good. And yeah, I always look forward to this.
What's that?
Dinner tonight, a chicken curry, courtesy of Jill once again. Jill. I thought I'd explain the thought process to my diet or fueling strategy. I try to eat frequently and a lot, and that's pretty simply just because marathon training, endurance sport just requires a ton of calorie consumption, because calorie deficits are how you have those days where you just don't feel like you have any pop, days where you feel a little fatigued, and also just a matter of like injury prevention. I'm a big believer that to be hyperbolic, there's no such thing as overtraining, just underfueling. Obviously there is such thing as overtraining, but the point of that statement is if you're eating properly, you can withstand the training load so long as your tendons and ligaments and all those things are properly prepared for the load. Where we get into trouble with like bone injuries and such is when we are in a calorie deficit for too long, when we get, you know, anemic or some sort of deficiency is when we're in a calorie deficit for too long. Our body starts, you know, eating itself because we don't have the calories in place for the training that we're asking it to do. So I've always tried to just eat a lot, and I think it's been a good strategy for keeping me healthy throughout my career. And frequency seems to be the #1 strategy for me. So 5 meals a day is pretty standard in marathon training. Last meal, 5th meal. So let's go over it again. First meal of the day, 2 toaster waffles. Second meal, egg casserole. Third meal, leftover pasta. Fourth meal, curry. Fifth meal, bowl of Cheerios with honey and cinnamon. It's like 8:30 at night. Go to bed in like 30, 45 minutes. So, cheers.
I feel alright.
I'd say good. Yeah, nothing to complain about right now. So, other than it being a little chilly, but that's a good thing for once the race starts. So, we'll handle it.
Well, no, I'm saying like
Got an hour and 5 minutes, so plenty of time.
Because we've got that marathon trials coming up in Orlando.
About the half marathon is we have all these elite runners who are going to participate in the Olympics, who have placed in the Olympics, run in the Olympics.
Caitlin Rupp is doing the half marathon. ARAMCO Houston half. He's probably will get the nice 200 run in.
This is more like a service meet that operates at 1341 is more of a takeout run for you.
Put it on last night. Put it on last night.
What Olympus talking about each and every year here in Houston. And then Brand Punch.
All right, so here we are back in the hotel. Had a couple hours to digest the race. Did a little cool down after. And yeah, I mean, just talked with Ryan and, you know, chatted through it a couple times now, and I kind of feel like I've gathered my thoughts and feelings on the race. And as I mentioned earlier, it's like, it's a little bittersweet to run a personal best, but like miss like the home run that you thought you were ready for. You know, it's with anything like this, it's always you need the right day. Like to run truly fast, like when you're on the razor's edge, you need like the day to line up. And I think I had the physical day, but I didn't have the atmosphere type day that I needed to run the time I wanted to run. And that's no excuse, it's just like I need better conditions to run faster, right? So yeah, I mean, I ran 61:02, I got 6th place, I've run this race 3 times. That's the best I've placed. That's the best I've run. It's a personal best. It'll put me in a good position heading into Seville with world rankings. You know, depending on how other races this weekend shake out, I should be like right on the cusp of being in the world rankings quota now, which is good because I think Seville will be a boost on my world ranking. So that's something that obviously is the main goal of 2024 is road to Paris, right? So. This was step 1, first race of 2024, just kind of see where we're at, try to take a swing at something big and yeah, get the most out of it. So I'll just talk to you a little bit through like how the race really played out. In years past, I've always found myself in a massive group at Houston, but this was the first time where I was solo, and it was early that I realized it was going to be a very different experience in Houston. So I got out hard, and immediately there's only 4 or 5 guys around me. I think in total there was 7, a group of 7. And Wesley Kiptoo of Hoka Northern Arizona Elite was in the lead. He was pushing pretty hard the first mile with a little bit of surging, and I kind of just had to like decide in those first few miles, like, do I go with every move that this is happening, stay on that group, or do I kind of just like find my zone and move how I need to move? And I ended up settling on, you know, running my own pace, and I ended up alone for a lot of that middle portion of the race. So after about 2 miles in, 3K in, I was probably alone until 15K, so 7.5 miles stretch of just alone. And when you're doing that at this effort, you know, it can feel like, man, am I making a big mistake? Am I gonna die? Are people behind me gonna get me? Am I gonna catch back up to anyone in the front or any of them hurting? And I knew that after 8 miles, the roundabout on the course when you're heading back into town, that the headwind was gonna be the strongest, and sure enough it was. But luckily, I started closing in on them as soon as we got into that headwind, and it only took me about a K to close that gap from 8 miles to 9 miles down. And so I caught back up to the group, and at this point I'm like elated, right? Because we're in the windiest part of the course. I'm back in with the group. There's a group of 7 total, and it's like, this is the race. These are the guys. This is who I got to compete with, and now I just got to be a competitor. And I'm seeing the splits because we're right behind the lead vehicle, and the lead vehicle like last K split and projected finish time. So at this point, 15K in, projected finish is 60-40, which would have been a good race for me. I would have been really pumped to just get under 61 for the first time, be in the lead pack that late. But we ran a couple pretty slow splits from 15K to 18K because we were still battling that headwind. Turned right to go downtown, a little less than 2 miles to go, and that's when the moves start being made. You have a couple rolling hills into downtown before you get into the buildings and the protection from the wind. And I was battling, you know, a long race and just couldn't cover those moves late, and ended up getting into a solo battle with myself, trying to stay engaged to get the most out of myself and break 61 minutes, which was, you know, the big goal once I realized I wasn't going to be competing for the win. And I knew I was really on the edge of being able to do that. Like, I was trying to do the math in my head, like stay engaged, get under 61. And I remember hitting 1K to go, or 20K, so 1.1 Ks to go, and knowing like, okay, if I go, I got it. If I go, I got it. And I felt like I really opened up my stride and was moving really well that last K with the hopes of getting under that mark. And with 400 to go, I checked my watch and I was like, I gotta run like a 62-second last 400 to break this barrier. So I ended up running like 64, which was still, I was moving really well, and I was, you know, happy with how my body was able to respond. But a little bittersweet to not get that barrier. But again, I can't say I'm upset with a personal best. That means today I was the best I've ever been before. And yeah, I'm gonna take this and just go, okay, I got 5 weeks till Seville. I've got probably 3 really hard weeks of training. I tapered a little bit for this one, so I'm freshened up. You just gotta recover from this race and then get right back to work. And yeah, I'm excited what this could mean for the marathon, because obviously that's been the primary focus in training, is getting ready for a marathon here in a month. So bodes well. I'm excited. It was a great atmosphere out there in Houston. Always a pleasure, and it was just, you know, it was good. It was good. I'm gonna take this as a positive step, but kind of let it light the fire for the last month of training, and hopefully we'll learn from this and grow from this. So excited for what that means.